Hey guys, so today we're going to create a number guessing game. This number guessing game is going to have some attributes to it that you are going to be able to use later on your AP project. I think it adds a lot of variety and definitely increases the kind of applications you are going to be able to make. So take today's lesson more as a tool than than anything really new that we're going to do. We are going to do a couple new things, and that is number one, create a variable or create variables for a question that is asked. So the application is now going to ask you a question. The user is then going to type something in, and that is going to be saved. Number two, we're going to use those variables inside of a predicate for a number guessing game. So those variables are now going to be compared to other items, such as, well, in this case, the number that is guessed is going to be compared with the number that was created by the application, so that way it could give you one of two messages. Number three, we're going to use conditional statements, which is if or if else statements, to create a message if the number is guessed right. Number four, we're going to keep this as a tool for our library, again, so that way you can use later on your AP exam. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Grab our sprite. We're going to click on number guessing. It's all in one block, or it's all in one procedure. I was going to say, what is the maximum number? Since the program is going to choose a number, we have to give it a maximum amount, because if not, it might be really big and then really hard to guess. In my case, I'm just going to put a 6. All right, I'm going to press enter. Now it's saying, what is the secret number? Here, you can see that the value that I entered is being stored. So what is the secret number? I don't know right now. Hopefully I don't guess it the first time, because if not, it's not going to show you the message. Let's go with a 2. I don't believe it's going to be a 2. Enter. All right, it tells me that my guess is too small. Let's try now a 6. Hopefully it's bigger than the... All right, now it's telling me that my guess is too big. All right, so if it's too small, too big, let's go with a 4. Guess it's too small. That means it's either probably a 5 then. And it says, congrats, you got it. The number is 5. It took you 4 guesses. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start that. First off, go ahead and open up a snap. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create 3 different variables. The 3 different variables are going to be secret number, player guess, and number of guesses. Secret number. And yes, it's going to be for all sprites. Player guess. And number of guesses. Whoa, that was a day. Hold on. I put here, it's make a variable, not create a command. Make a variable and number of guesses. I'm going to press OK. Now these 3 we're going to use later on, and we're going to store values in them. First thing I want you to do is I want you to go into sensing, and now we're going to ask a question. In this case, we're going to ask, what is the maximum number? That's the first thing that happens over here when we do ask that question. Where did I put it? Right, so when we click on it, it's going to ask what is the maximum number. So that's what we're going to do right now. And yes, it asks the question, right? But how do I store the answer? How do I get the answer to be saved? So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to set, under variables, we're going to set the secret number first to operators, pick random, from 1 to the answer. right here under sensing, and right under where you ask the question, we're going to set that to the answer. So what's happening here is you're asking a question, and then we're setting the secret number, whatever number that the computer's going to choose or the program's going to choose, it's going to be set to a random number from the number 1 all the way to answer. All right, after this, we are going to use a repeat until. Repeat until what? Well, we're going to repeat until the player guess equals that secret number. Right? Notice right here, this part is super important. I'm just going to show you. Right here. This part right here is very, very important, so that way you have the correct usage of the ask portion. Because if you do not have the correct usage, it will mess up later on, and then you won't be able to store more responses into your variables, and you won't be able to ask more questions. So this part's very important, that every time you ask a question, you go ahead and you set the answer to a certain variable. All right, I'm going to go back and I'm going to repeat until. I'm going to go into operators and put equal. And I'm going to set my variable's secret answer, or secret number. And I'm going to say that it's going to repeat until the player guess equals that secret number. Okay, now what is it going to repeat? Well, it's going to keep asking questions. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to ask another question. In this case, this question is going to be, what is the secret number? And again, just like I said before, every time you ask a question, you need to go ahead and set the variable to that. You have to go ahead and set the response, to that variable that you created. So what is the secret number? We're going to go into variables, set, and we're going to set the player guess to sensing the answer. Right, so now what you have is a question. We set the answer to the player guess. We're also going to change under variables the number of guesses to operators. Number of guesses variables plus 1. Why? Because every time that it repeats this loop and it checks it, it's going to change the value of number of guesses by 1. We're also going to say that if here we're not going to use an if else, we're just going to use an if the player guess is greater than the secret number, again, if the player guess is greater than the secret number, it's going to say your guess is too big. Quite the opposite if the player guess is less than the secret number. Your guess is too small. At the end, this is going to keep on going and going and going until the player actually chooses the correct number, which is right here, this portion right here. So until this condition right here is met, it'll keep repeating. Right? At the end, if you do guess the number, all it's going to do is going to say right here, it's going to say we're going to join these two. And we're going to join the string. Congrats. Congrats. You got it. The number is. And we're going to join it with the secret number. I was going to say that for 2 seconds. Also, it's going to say it took you player guess or guesses. Sorry, not number of guesses. It took you number of guesses. Okay, let's go ahead and see if it works. Stop this. And right here you have all these variables that are open. You don't need to have them open. You can go ahead and close them off here if you need to. I'm just going to have, just for the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to have the secret number showing. Well, actually, you know what? I'll show the secret number. And I'll just not show the number of guesses. All right, now I run this. What is this? What is the maximum number in this case? Because I know what the secret number is going to be, I'm just going to put something like 100. It's going to choose something of that, or something like that. Sorry, it's going to choose something below that. My bad. It's going to show the secret number right here. So if I guess below it, let's say I guess a 3. Let's see what happened here. I guess too big. Oh, right here, I made a mistake. This should not be inside because it won't show it inside because I have to clear this condition first. So I actually have to move this outside right there. All right, so let's try it now. What is the maximum number? Again, I'll put 100. What is the secret number? Say I put a 50. I guess it's too big. It's gonna ask me again. Let's say I put a 2. My guess is too small. And finally, if I choose the correct number, which I already know right here because it's telling me, put a 20, enter. Congrats, and I misspelled congrats here. It took you 5 guesses. Remember, you can always put spaces here so it looks a little nicer. And you can just polish it off and make it look better. Put this all in one block, and you will be done for today. That's it.